I just love how it drops with this bass sound. Yeah. Hey you guys, my name is Daniel Kim, and in this video I'm going to be giving you a breakdown of Pop Danthology 2010s. Alright, let's have a look. So what you see here is my project inside a software called Logic Pro 10. First, I open with the instrumental of Clarity. If you look over here on the left, I've got two effects plugged into this track. The first one is just my equalizer, and then the second one is mixed in key. Mixed in key analyzes your audio and tells you what key it's in. As a standalone software, you can just drag and drop a bunch of songs into it, and it'll just automatically give you all the information you need to harmonically mix music together. You can use either one. It just depends on what you prefer. The results are the same. So yeah, Mix and Key tells me that this instrumental is in G sharp major. I wanted my mashup to start in a major key so that it would be more inviting and delicately nostalgic. And I think Clarity beautifully does that. And so on top of the Clarity instrumental, I decided to put three very recognizable acapellas: Party Rock Anthem, We Found Love, and Cheerleader. I thought that when the average person listens to this mashup on these three parts, they'd be like, oh, I know these tunes. And then at this section, this is me singing different harmonies of my own intro. Danthology. Hey! Alright, so right here is when I start bringing in a little bit of a beat. It says 128 beats per minute over here, but really it's actually half time, because That's What I Like is a pretty slow song. So That's What I Like sounds like this. I like this track. Now, I'm trying to mix That's What I Like with Clarity together, but even though I put them on the same key, they're not gonna mix very well. It would have sounded like this. This is the original Clarity instrumental mixed with That's What I Like. Right? It just sounds off. And it sounds off because in That's What I Like, you've got the kick coming at this point and at this point, and you would want the keys, I'm talking about keyboards, to change chords at the exact same time. Like if the kicks are over here, you would want it to switch over here. But because it's delayed, what you get is this delayed effect in the music. So it's like, yeah, it just sounds off. So what I did was go into Melodyne, another software that lets me go into polyphonic sounds like chords and change individual notes within that chord to create whole new chords. And then I also changed the timing of when those chords would play. So after doing all of that, this is what my new Clarity instrument sounds like. And that sounds much better with the instrumental of That's What I Like, sounding like this. I wish I didn't need. And then on top of that, I also put Watch Me in there. And it all sounds very nice together. And over here, this is where the instrumental of Clarity ends. So all that's remaining is That's What I Like and Watch Me. And then in terms of vocals, it's pretty simple. I've got Clarity playing over here. In that section, Fox is asking, why do I do this, even though it's painful for me? So I wanted to give kind of a response, and that's where John Legend is reassuring his love, saying, oh, it's because I give all of myself to you and you give all of yourself to me. So I thought that was fitting. And in that space when John Legend's not singing anymore, I thought I'd put Nicki Minaj in there. Alright, so now this section is where the major key ends, and I switch over to the relative minor key, which is F minor. For most of the song, until the very end, it's in F minor. And so this part I'm speeding up. I'm trying to get from 134 beats per minute to 140 beats per minute. And I'm doing that first through Lady Gaga's Applause. And so it builds up like this. And I thought that would sound pretty nice with this song, People in Paris. Okay, and so on top of that, I decided to put in the a cappella of the very popular song, Old Town Road. So it all sounds like this together. It was difficult to find a clean a cappella of Old Town Road, so that's why I'm using 3 different layers like this. Alright, so over here, there's no a cappella for Can't Hold Us, not that I could find, so this is just straight from the song. And it's got just the kicks going on every beat. Na 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 na. Because that track already has the kicks on every beat, I felt that the drums in Lady Gaga's Applause didn't need so much of the low frequencies, so that's why I cut the low frequencies over here. So combining them together, I'm using the kicks from Can't Hold Us as well as the claps from Applause to sound like this. Yep, and then you got the rest of the instrumentals from Applause. Now on this, now watch me whip, now watch me nay nay, that part, just changing the key, it would have sounded like this. Now watch me whip, now watch me nay nay. But I didn't think that that would really sound all that great. Like that melody wouldn't fit so well with the na 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 in those notes. Na 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 na. Now watch me whip, now watch me nay nay. It just, the ending notes of that melody line, I felt like there was no resolution. So that's why I changed the notes of Watch Me, and I changed it to this, just the harmonies of it. Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay nay. Yeah, that sounds more like, yes, I'm completing this section of the music. So combine all those together with the new harmonies, it would sound like this. Okay, so this next section, if you're familiar with Pop Danthology 2015 Part 2, as well as Pop Danthology 2013, this will bring back some memories because it's a combination of both of those. These 2 parts where it goes from Wild for the Night, and then it mutes over there, and then comes back, and then on the muted part where Harlem Shake comes in. So that's from Pop Danthology 2013. So together it sounds like that. And then this whole scratching section is actually from my Pop Danthology 2015. Alright. So now here I've got another quiet section that's speeding up to about 160 beats per minute. And so I've got Ariana Grande singing side to side over here. And as it's building up, you know, I've got these quiet double claps, clap and double clap from Shake It Off, and the bass line from Feel It Still. Ding, 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 ding. So this is building up to one of my favorite parts of Pop Danthology 2010s. All of a sudden, you know, it goes from quiet to lots of sounds, and I just love how it drops with this bass sound. That's from Ariana Grande's Side to Side, and with that sound, it goes like this. Okay, so the instrumental here What you're hearing is the bass line of Feel It Still. This whole fast section, the instrumental is mostly Feel It Still. For the drums, I've got Shake It Off playing. And then also the instrumental of Happy playing. So combine those two together and this is what it sounds like. Yeah. And then the a cappella is just Taylor Swift singing Shake It Off. Now, one thing I did do differently is the brass section. So in Shake It Off, originally it would have sounded like this. So the notes for this brass part, it's made for a major key song, right? And so even if you change the key, it doesn't really fit. So I had to change the notes for that to fit with this song, and it now sounds like this. And so all together it sounds like this. Ladies love me, I'm on my cool J. If you get what I get, what would you say? Over here, when Chris Brown says, if you get what I get, what would you say? I actually changed the notes to be more like he was singing to this song, because originally his part sounds like this. If you get what I get, what would you say? If you get what I get, what would you say? He's just tapering down in his pitch, right? And I didn't think that sounded as good with the music, so I changed the notes to make it sound like, if you get what I get, what would you say? If you get what I get, what would you say? Like that. So all together, it sounds like, what does the fox say? Yeah, so before the chorus comes in, I'm bringing the energy back down. Shake It Off also has a section where the energy dies down and has this kind of drums, where the kicks, the bass sounds really like it's cut out, like it's in a different room, right? And I thought that would sound really nice with Sia, Cheap Thrills. Yeah, she's saying, I don't need no money. But then Robin Thicke is saying, yeah, I know you want it. Know you want it. As long as I can feel the beat. I know you. Despacito. Right? This song had to make it in, right? I still have just the claps going on from Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. I've got a reggaeton loop like this, and then just a more in-your-face kind of reggaeton loop, and all together it fits like this. And then over here it's really simple, it's just Happy playing, and the only other instrumental that's really playing at the same time is Shake It Off, the drums of it. Because I'm happy. So that pretty much sums up all the top songs that are in that 160 beats per minute range from the past decade. There's not a lot of other big songs in that tempo. So at this point, I felt like, okay, I gotta leave this tempo. Let's get out of it. So that's what I'm doing over here. I drop it down to around 80 beats per minute. And what I'm trying to do in this section is now build up towards 100 beats per minute. And how I started off is with this brass section from Hey Mama. It sounds really, really epic, right? Like it's preparing for something big to come in. And with the whole epicness of this instrumental, I thought what would really match well with that is the a cappella of We Are Young. So I set the world on. That part, this second half of this section, I wanted to make it really big too. And since we've got the Hey Mama brass section going on, I thought it would sound good to add some more brass sections in there. So Jason Derulo's Talk Dirty has that, right? It sounds like this. There's also Shape of You mixed in here, right? And that is how we go to our next section. And so over here, the instrumental, pretty simple. It's Calvin Harris's Feels. Sounds like this. The complicated thing that's going on over here are the a cappellas that are playing. So first we've got Finesse playing. It don't make no sense. The notes in the original Finesse song is very similar to da 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 da. So that's how I thought Havana would be great to put right into that spot. Hey, it don't make no sense. Havana, ooh na na. And then you hear a bit of The Weeknd singing, but I love it. And then, thank you, next, trippin' and finesse. So you got some rhyming over there to make it even more memorable. So that synth from Mi Gente, I really like that, and I thought that part where I just drop out the instrumental of Feels, right there. That synth, I thought, perfectly blends right in there. And then it goes to the next section where it's much faster. The main instrumental over here is actually Feels still, right? This instrumental right here. But I felt it would also sound nice with the brass section from Mark Ronson's Uptown Funk. So it goes like this. Right here. It's all silent, right? But in that silent spot, I thought it would sound good to put those voices from Uptown Funk where it goes do 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 do. Yeah. And on top of that, very simple, we've got Mike Posner's I Took a Pill in Ibiza. That's going on top of that. Until this end section where I changed the instrumental to Treasure, right? This is Treasure playing. And for the acapellas, I've got Baby Shark because it was just so big, had to include it, and Gangnam Style. Oppa Gangnam Style. Oh. So this next section, I felt like, all right, we're done with the whole minor key. I wanted to transition now back over to major key. And the reason I wanted to do that is to bring in a sense of resolution. When you switch from minor key to major key, that's how it feels. Like something is resolved, like a happy ending. It sounds more uplifting. And I wanted to just have that sense of positivity to end this mashup. So I switch back over to its relative major key, which is again G sharp major or A flat major. And I've got Jessie J's Domino, that instrumental just quietly starting out and then creeping louder and louder. And then on top of that, I've got the guitar part of Cake by the Ocean going on. And then the second half, I've got the claps and bass from Cake by the Ocean going on. In terms of acapellas, I've got J-Lo singing On the Floor first, and then JT singing Can't Stop the Feeling. Over here, I've got Ed Sheeran's song Sing going on. Sing! I felt like it's a good introduction to this part with more energy. And so this is also from Sing. Sounds like a group of guys chanting. Oh, whoa. Crazy, crazy. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. All along, I wanted to start off Pop Danthology very delicate and quiet, and then finish it off with the most amount of energy in a major key. So that's how I chose this instrumental. And if you are familiar with Pop Danthology 2012, there is a section that sounds like this, right? I'm using the instrumental of Jessie J's Domino, and I started off with Carly Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe. So starts with that. I just met you. And this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. And then it goes to Timber. And then when Kesha says you better move, I decided to have Maroon 5's Moves Like Jagger go on. Yeah, and then Kesha completes her line saying, you better dance, right? You better dance. And so when she says dance, I thought it'd be cool to include Walk the Moon's Shut Up and Dance With Me. And so, yeah, he just sings, shut up and dance with me. And then it goes into Usher's DJ Got Us Falling in Love. Got us falling in love. I love you like a love song, baby. Here's the bar. And I finish it off with just instruments. And that's the instrument that you hear in Gautier's Somebody That I Used to Know. And this outro is actually quite similar to the outro of Pop Danthology 2012. So this whole decade mashup that I've made is a combination of a lot of my past mashups. So that's how I arrange Pop Danthology 2010s. Hope you enjoyed that video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.